game, still pretty early days if you're talking about PokeyPoke. So a lot further on from when it was its little jam thing, but mostly in code-related ways. It's a lot less broken. Still broken, but it's less broken. Hi Fabi, I'm doing alright. The last kind of big thing I did was add all this splashy water, right? Now I've got this little island here that, like, you can't get under, which is the intent. You don't maybe be able to get under here. Let's turn it down a little. Hello, oh hi, it's me, question mark. Which works in that regard, but there's kind of a sneaky way you can get around it if you just like boing. You can like do that. And the men's on the other side. So I'm not really sure exactly how this little island blocking away is going to entirely work. I quite like the physics of that, like the fact that you can dip underneath. So I probably am going to keep that just because I want to be able to use water elsewhere in the game. Not a lot. It's not going to be a super prominent thing, but every now and again, like having a little room that maybe like fills it with water or something like that. Just the slight change in physics is kind of an interesting way to play. Like I like doing this, so you like sort of dig around underneath the water, and the water it's like gravity is going the other way, right? And it's quite cool. And it started off as just doing kind of a pretty effect, but I think that physics is going to be kind of cool. So I do want that to work properly, so we've got some work to do on that. This, at the moment, is kind of the beginnings of the new game world, so not the kind of little playground that was in the one. I don't know why that comes on by default now. So I'm going to have to look at that in a minute. But, I'm pretty sure it doesn't in the other game world, so I'm going to have to try that. Hi, Gaming Zone. Oh wow, thank you very much for the 20... I do not recognize that currency symbol, but thank you very much for 20 of it. That is highly appreciated. What's Twitch? You see both things. Hey, Develop. Enjoy that emote while you last. I think I might be getting rid of my Twitch affiliate hood soon. Because it turns... Yeah, well, I don't want to get into it, but that might unfortunately be a thing, which is sad because I kind of, I like that little emote, and there's no similar thing on YouTube. But it's looking more and more like I'm basically not really going to be able to rock both. Well, I can rock both like the way I'm doing now, but I can't rock both YouTube and Twitch and be an affiliate on Twitch. So it looks like I'm gonna be dropping that as soon as Twitch get back to me about it anyway. Which is unfortunate. But it means I'll still be streaming there. It just means, well, I won't have the cool affiliate thing, so I won't have my awesome emote and that kind of nonsense, unfortunately. Which to be fair, is more or less the only thing I was getting out of it. And I will miss Lulu's period of fame on Twitch, but Lulu still has a place. She'll come and visit now and again while I'm working. You'll still get to see her pretty face. I know, it's very sad. How's that YouTube live chat work in GMS2? I have a tutorial. Well, I have a tutorial that covers the Twitch aspects of it. Which you can go look for, like Game Maker Twitch TV tutorial. Man, this is still the coolest movement in the game, though. So there's that. Right, so yeah, I was gonna put like a a row of these up here. Doing it for YouTube is fundamentally pretty much the same, but rather than hooking into like an IRC thing, you're hooking into a like JSON thing. So you ping a certain address and it hands you back a JSON object with all like the chat history and who said what in it, and then you like pass that for any like changes to before, and then you can bring up the chat. I could do a whole video on like GMS2 YouTube thing. It's kind of a mess though the way I did it, and then I don't know if it'd make a good video or not, so that's kind of why I haven't done it yet. It works and it's stable and robust enough, I think, but it's, yeah, it just, I have to work it out every time, like just getting the right information from YouTube, like using the pages to get your like live chat ID or whatever it's called. Like, now every time I Google it, like it's really hard to find answers to, like, YouTube live chat ID, where do I find this? And people are like, I still can't remember how I get it. So every time I lose it, I have to like basically teach myself how to make it again. Like if my live ID chat ID changes for any reason. And it really also only works for doing live streams in the way that I'm doing them now, just from the stream now thing on live streaming. I don't know about like when you do it from events and that kind of thing. Should I study game design or just learn on my own? It's a big question with a lot of variables. I'm not sure I can immediately answer that for you. Any tips for a young wannabe game developer? The easy one is just make games. Making games is good if you're a game developer. That's kind of what we do. It depends what you want tips about. What really? Some things I'd be qualified to tell you about, other things I would not. I'm looking for an object that I just cannot find. Where is my crumble blocks? That's what they were called, right? Oh, crumble. There we go. There's some delicious crumble in this game. Let's go. Do I just want that on the entities? Oh yeah, I changed lower entities to just be entities, didn't I? So you can jump about yay high. So 1, 2. Yeah, it's 2 tiles, isn't it? It's 48 or 64-ish if you do it from a spear jump. So we can reach this, but we could also like use that to jump you up to reach one of these things. Is that a method we want to use? No, let's just do it from the ground. I think that's interesting. Do that. And how high did I? Right, so you can get a good height off of that spear bounce like that. That's like 5 blocks. Let's do here and 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll do that there. And we'll do another one at like 5. Wait, did that actually go up 5 blocks? I don't think it did. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it did. Oh, yeah. I don't. For some reason that just looked huge to me on there, but. Right, yeah, because I wasn't counting. Right. Let's try that. I want to see if that ascension is possible, because I kind of want to keep this like this cliffside thing going, because I think it's quite cool. What I'm working on here is just sort of the intro section of the game. And although this, I say intro section, this is kind of an area you can come back to. It might end up getting repositioned. I might not want to keep it here, but for now it's like an area you backtrack to. One of the reasons I might not want to keep it there is because it's a little bit non-obvious. It's like almost the kind of thing I'd kind of want you to just come up here and then boom, there's the diamond, because you kind of solve the puzzle and not the puzzle of it, and like hiding such a really, like, because this is really cool. I love this area of the game. And hiding that behind, like already behind a secret means like you've got a huge number of people who just aren't gonna see it, and that would suck. So, oh yeah, I'm not actually. Let's come back down here. Can you just, yeah, you can just kind of do that for that one. But if you do, you're too low. So you, I don't know if you can do it that way then. Or maybe. If you can do that, then it might be possible. I kind of want to encourage speed bounce. I'm pretty sure you have to speed bounce the next one at 5, because I think that's what I worked out for this. I worked out that you had to do, if you wanted to be 5, you had to speed bounce. I mean, I just speed bounce there anyway, because I'm used to it. But, and the thing is, thinking about it, once you've got to this point, you know about the speed bounce, so you're probably going to want to use it anyway. Oh, I didn't put it on Twitter that I'm streaming, actually. Let's do that quickly. I've not seen Bandersnatch, Joe, yet. Or played Bandersnatch, or whatever, however you want to describe it. There we go. I've heard probably too much about Bandersnatch already, so I probably need to get it watched / played, whatever, soon. Otherwise I'm gonna miss out completely on the opportunity to have a steaming hot take on it. I like the concept with the spear, seems like a fun game mechanic. I also need to thank you for all your tutorials, made life a lot easier for me. No problem, I'm glad I could help. Hi from Japan, hello Sankor. You and Heartbeast were my teachers for the beginning of GM Adventures. Just yesterday I convinced myself to get GMS2 and I'm currently having fun with it, thanks for your help. Glad I could help, Fishy. Always good to hear. I make awesome games, thank you. That's, that is the one goal, really. Woo! Yeah, sometimes as well, that, like I'm clicking that, like, I did modify it so that, like, if the thing is close enough to you, like, if I'm running along here and I just press stab, like, it's close enough that it'll just grab it and stab, like that. I feel like I want that to apply more in the air so that when... Ooh, that's kind of weird. You can get a little one like that. I don't know how that happened. Oh, there's a lot to do. But yeah, if you go up like that, it feels like you're never quite close enough for it to work, or you might be very briefly, like there, where like you're just within catching distance and it like quickly comes back out of it. Maybe that's good like that, I don't know, like... It gives you like that limited space in which you can do that kind of thing. So let's get back up here, pop over you. Yeah, I want to know if it's possible to do without the first wall bounce. It's definitely possible with the wall bounce, but like if I get as high as I can on there, get from the side on there, then we'll... Yeah, you can. So you can, but it's... I don't know, it feels like you have to really set that up, and also I don't really mind. You know, because they still have to do it on the next one. But my ideal experience for that bit is to have someone come up here, do this, having already learned about that wall bounce, they're just going to do that, and do that, and get up. Like then I should make like another one. Like here's your little rest spot here. I was thinking about, oh, I just put another diamond here, but why not keep this going even further? Like, let's, like, do, like, a whole thing going up this mountain. Like, you already know by virtue of the pathway existing that there's something up there for you. You've learned the key technique just by doing the first bit. This whole area might get moved, though. As I say, I might not keep this here so close to the beginning of the game where you have to kind of backtrack through, but I might at the same time. If I put some other stuff through here, like I was already thinking of maybe something behind this island over here, which is going to have like obviously not a tree made of stone. It's going to have like a kind of a tree that blocks your path getting over it, but maybe like putting something on the other side there that you can kind of use this sort of sneaky technique to get around and under. I would then need something else to kind of, yeah, like that. Need something else to like block your path. Can you actually get over? I'm certain that's possible. Probably possible just by getting into that, but actually, or not even that. Like you can probably just. Oh, yeah, you can just straight up make it. Yeah, thought so. But I've got ways of dealing with that. That's not too big of a problem. Let me just put some rock like there and there, for example. Might look dumb, but we can find a way to make that fit. I need to do something with the slow-mo as well. Like this needs a better look. I don't know if I just want to put a vignette on or what. I haven't quite decided how that should visually feel yet. Have I been studying something with IT to learn programming? Not really, no. Like, I'm pretty much just self-taught. I mean, I say that. Like, I'm taught, I guess, in a way a lot of you guys are. I follow tutorials, and I kind of combine that with experimenting and looking up the things I didn't know how to do, and just sort of working it out, you know? I like that section. Anyway, I want to look into what's going on with the unsafe stuff, because I'm pretty sure if I put the old world back in here for a second, I'm sure that doesn't, like, have that on by default. Don't know if there's some stray... I don't know why it does this now and again. When I run and I change focus window while it's compiling, I come back and I get this weird, like, half resolution thing. I'm pressing F5. I don't know if... I don't think I'm pressing F6. So I'm pressing F5 to get... oh wow, window lock's kind of screwed up there. Yeah, that's... Yeah, because if I press F6 then that's there. So I don't know what the crack... What's the crack there? Why is that a thing? Let's get the player. Shift them up here. The world up there. And run again. A little unsure. A little bit unsure. Yeah, so it's not nothing to do with me summoning the spear, it's just on by default. Why on earth would that be? Creation code of the room, I'm pretty sure it's like nothing. Okay, there's some stuff, but it's... Oh, that's the Nara triangle. Yeah, it's the same. It's just so that we have that backup background in there in case all our background goes away. So debug controls, we got that stuff. Let's first of all undo that. I don't think that'll have anything to do with the issue. F6, layer set visible global. Oh, that'll just be it, right? So global, the safety layer that we have in our world is just on. We just have to toggle it off. That's all it was. It was because it was managed by a layer. Pretty much TNR. I'll show you in a second. I'll make sure this is again, like I have a switch focus just before it compiles and we get some sort of weird I don't understand what's going on there. That's been happening for a long time. It's probably around time now I do a bit of a refactor and work out some of these issues rather than being like, I'll solve that later, because we're going to have to start building a lot of stuff on top of what we've got here, and it's going to be gross if we just keep ignoring some of these problems. The init room. What does the init room do? I think, yeah, it just has this object, has the game object, I think. Yeah, which sort of does everything. Interesting, the room size is 128 by 720. Do I have a viewport on right now? I do have a viewport's enabled, visible. I'm going to set this to be like 200 by 200 first of all and run that and just see if it makes... and lose focus in here, which it probably won't do the thing and it'll probably just go full screen, but I'm curious. Yeah, it's just gone full screen. What? That's what's made it so hard to want to deal with this bug, is because it's not consistent. So yeah, I have this init room and it's got this object in it. This object sets up all my global variables of the game. It does some stuff to create. There's some surface resizing stuff, which I'm pretty sure is at the core of this bug. It creates a height table as well for slopes, which I hadn't used for a while. I kind of moved away from doing slopes, and then we decided they would be kind of cool for something we wanted to do with like the beach and stuff. So reluctantly I'm looking at putting those back in and turning that dusty ancient power back on, but it's scary. Okay, what else? So yeah, I got distracted, but this object here does all that stuff, sets all that stuff up. There's a few things it manages throughout the game, so it sticks around as a persistent object, like global debug keys, pausing the game, and just general global things like that. I try not to have it do too much. I sometimes go a bit crazy with OGame and just stick everything in it, which has its advantages and its disadvantages. But I'm trying not to do it this time. The idea of hell is writing a physics engine. Depends. I mean, I guess that's kind of... I mean, I'm handling my own game physics, but it's not really a physics engine. If I were doing something that needed a full-blown physics engine, in the way I guess I would define that, I would... Ooh, that needs fix. I would just use one someone else had already made. Also, hi Sean, hi Shadowplay. Where? Sorry, I'm just getting distracted. What do I use? What software do I use for tile sets creating? So I didn't create any of these tile sets. These were created by Inksplat, who's the artist for PokeyPoke. Is there any tiles that I created for this game? I create some things. I did these spikes, but they're really just tall versions of the original mini spikes that Inksplat did. I do bits of the artwork. Like I did this button. So most of the artwork that I've done for this game, I've done in Game Maker's built-in editor. I think Inksplat uses Ace Sprite. I'm not sure. But for me, I use a combination of either Photoshop, if it's very rarely for pixel art, but sometimes Photoshop. The built-in editor in Game Maker Studio 2 and Pixel Edit. Yes, we plan to release this beautiful game. There won't really be any combat as such in it. There'll be plenty of things for you to break and smash, but there's not going to be like traditional enemies of sorts that you're going to fight. At one point I like the idea of maybe having like big Shadow of the Colossus bosses and things, but I'm trying to keep it simpler than that. So it's not really going to be about that kind of thing. It's going to be about what it's already about and what already kind of works well, which is moving around this environment, finding cool things. Well, that's it, really. It's just, like, interesting challenges in terms of the movement and the controls that already exist. Cool moments like this one, where you have to like do this little bounce off the wall and get up and you collect a diamond. That's it in a nutshell. That's the game, and everything in the game is about supporting and enhancing that. So a few like extra things that'll be in it are speedrun ghosts for certain like diamonds and things. So you have like a little plinth or whatever you can activate, where a little ghost version of you will run up and do the route and grab the diamond, presumably after you've already gotten the diamond once, and like challenge you to essentially beat it to the diamond from its position, right? So that you can kind of replay the diamonds and get like faster at them. Among other things, I might even have like a full game ghost or something like that. The ghost system I've got is pretty flexible. Like all the stuff for that is already in there. We've got I'll show you some of these ghosts. They're quite cool. And for something like the Switch, maybe it's tough at the moment thinking about consoles. Like the controls are still kind of rough on pad, in my opinion. They work. I think they work, but you need to have a certain class of experience to be able to get to grips with it. It's really hard if you're new to games or whatever to play this on a controller. Oh yeah, ghosts, right. I have some cool ghosts. In fact, I'll restart this. What was my inspiration to make this one tour many overuse idea? Well, that was the theme, and that was in itself the inspiration, really. I mean, the game you're thinking about the most when you think of the theme, one tool, many uses, is Downwell, right? And probably in no short thanks to Mark Brown, his video everyone loved on oh yeah, so that's that ghost that shows you. I got distracted. That was the ghost I'll show you another one in a minute that like shows you how to do certain techniques. But yeah, he did that cool video about Downwell, and then we were all like, oh yeah, man, Downwell and doing lots of things with one mechanic. That's kind of cool. And this game didn't really end up even doing that, even though that was kind of the initial like inspiration of thinking of like a thing like that, of a tool that can solve many different mechanical problems. So like it does, but it's more just the thing it ended up doing, like, it ended up physically being quite cool, more than it solving multiple design problems, like, it's just fun to use. And that kind of owes its roots more to the Pokio creature in Mario. Like, so check this ghost out. He's like, ooh, look at the floor. And he spins his sword. And like, oh, I understand. That's how I get up there. Right, cool, thank you for showing me that. And now I understand that rock works like that and do that. I was kind of explicitly told, but at the same time, it doesn't use text or buttons on the screen, and it just feels a little more elegant than like a traditional tutorial. What? My jump keys died. Oh, right, because I teleported there, and yeah, there's a script thing I have built in here so that when you fall down here for the first time, remove your control, and I just stood in that. That's fine. So I kind of want to Ghost to replace this, but it's kind of hard to do that without at least mentioning the right mouse button or mentioning right trigger, because otherwise you see him walk and slow down time and aim at a thing and throw it, and that's all cool, but you've no idea how he did that, whereas the other Ghost, you already know how to stab by the time you've got to him, so like that tutorial works. How that works is a little bit more, yeah. This is turning from like live game development more into just sort of like a PokeyPoke retrospective on like where we are now. But as long as we're all having fun. I'm honestly just having a bit of a chill day today and streaming for the fun of it. Yeah, Loki, that was a thing I kind of thought about doing really early on. But now I don't know, I'm way less interested. It would work if, I don't know how it would work code-wise, but it would kind of work as a thing, but I don't really want to make the game about fighting things in a way. It might work as a one-off thing that you could have somewhere. I'm just not sure it's got amazing, like, it'd definitely be a very exotic gameplay type thing, and I kind of want to minimize that in this and just really get the most out of the understood ways of playing the game. It kind of works if the ones that basically does function as like a moving level, so if I do implement that kind of thing, that's the way it would work. And there would probably only be one of them. Whatever it ends up being, I buy it. Well, thank you, Flexi Hands. I'm going to hold you to that. What do I do if I press something that when you write words or phrases, the phrase that is to write gets replaced by the things I write between... What? Oh, you mean on your keyboard? Oh, you just press the insert key. Mr. Coco, you press the insert key on your keyboard. It's a great mystery that strikes every computer user at some point or other. So here's another Ghost. Kind of in a weird position and very missable at the moment, but this isn't final level design. This is just kind of a playground of ideas. But I mean, it vaguely gets across the idea of the game, though, this playground. Like, it's the whole idea is that you crash land on this weird ice island, this pilot girl finds a cool spear and runs around the island collecting diamonds. Initially, you're running around trying to find parts or some tools or something essential that you need to fix the plane in order to get back off the island. But the idea is you'll do that very quickly, and once you do that, you're like, I could leave this island, but I haven't really learned anything about it, or like, it's a kind of a mysterious, strange place. I don't really know anything about it. And then the idea is you can end the game at any time. You can roll credits at any time, but there's going to be more stuff for you to go out there and find, and you can basically then, at that point, get out of the game whatever you're prepared to put into it. Did I build this around Delta Time? I did not, to some level of regret, but I think I'll get away with it. the way I've done it, because I got it to the point where I can do time slowing and like just via like kind of a global number. It's not perfect, and it means I kind of have to replicate the code across lots of different things. But it does work, and I'm fairly convinced it'll scale as much as I need it to. Typically, yes, the sound effects for this game were not done by me. I don't think any of them were done by me. They were all done by Rologfoss, who made a game called Waveland, which is quite cool. Climbing out of there is really fun. You don't actually have to, though, I've noticed. You can, once you're over there, I don't think you can, it's like right at the edge. I think you can, it's really hard to tell where that edge is, actually. Balling hitbox might need work. It might be possible to get over there, you know. Oh, in fact, you know what, I know definitely is going to be possible. Just doing that. That's why this is not final level design, folks. But yeah, just like, I like this chunk, and I might reuse this piece here as just something to force you to climb out of, because it's just quite a cool little, like those left and right move, just anything when you're climbing. Climbing straight up is kind of boring, like that, or whatever, but any situation where I can just force you to go left to right is just super fun. I don't know, it's weird how like just something that simple makes so much of a difference. But like this, it's alright, but I find it gets old pretty quick, whereas this is cool. And so that's all the spikes there, right, aren't always there to present a challenge, such as make the movement feel good going through it. How did I make the checkpoint mechanic? So if I turn on this, you can see the X. I don't know if it's coming well on stream, but you see that X. I basically, any time the player is stood on the ground, like safely, I'm just updating that position to be the last checkpoint, and when I jump or when I'm airborne, it stops tracking, right? Now, that's not all there is to it. Various areas of the game will mark themselves as unsafe, so if I press F6, you can see all these areas here that have, like, it's literally a tile map that have marked themselves unsafe, and I can manually do that to some as well, because there are some that are hard to do automatically. But things like doors that close, or spikes, or areas where spikes will come out, and so on, are marked as unsafe, either manually or automatically, and then the spike will never, the X, sorry, will never actually place itself in those spaces. And then if I die, I just go back to wherever that X was. That was good, actually. Like, I just happen to have all the debug things on hand to demonstrate pretty much exactly how that works. Okay, so I might retitle the stream. I've decided it's PokeyPoke Q&A. that's what we're doing today. Or Game Maker General Q&A. So you see, even though those spikes retracted, like, those areas remain unsafe. I mean, they would be unsafe anyway, because there's nowhere to touch the ground. But still. Alright, let's ignore that for now. That's probably another example back here at the start. Oh, you got a game order? Is it made in Game Maker noise chip? That's typically my kind of rule for playing people's games, because very game makery channel and so on. So you can see, yeah, that's marked this area unsafe because of the door here. So you see the X does not go through the door. If I'm standing here, the X remains on the other side of the door. And if I come through the door, it'll catch back up to me. So that if I die here, blonk, I'll respawn there. It's a little nervous how close it puts you, but it should at least, you know, it should be pixel perfect enough to be alright in those circumstances. And the same goes for this area actually. So you can see that this area here is marked unsafe, so the X isn't going to go there. It's still back here at the moment. Don't come here once I land down here because this area is safe. This area, even though there's no spikes here, is still unsafe for a save point. And that's really it. That's all there is to it. Camera system is very nice, thank you. Are you going to change the sprite animation that runs while you're poked to the wall? Maybe. A lot of people think it's weird. I liked it. Honestly, and I don't know what to change it to. I actually kind of like how dynamic it is when you move around and that your character is doing some kind of movement. Maybe it shouldn't be the running animation. Maybe it should be. But I don't know. I haven't decided what that should be yet. I don't know if like a still thing is a good idea, or if it is, I've got to do it from different angles as well. I think Inkspot has some thoughts on that and stuff as well, so it'll probably be whatever my artist thinks is a better idea, really. It's probably not my decision to make. What's on co-op? I mean, it's not really that kind of game. Wait. Player skill is super variant in this, so like main players rely on each other to be kind of like just as good as one another at this would be hard, and yeah, I don't think it's a game super well suited to the idea of co-op gameplay. Do I have a Discord channel, what, for this game, or just in general? I do not have, I mean, I do not have either. So I was wondering which one you were interested in. Something for this game might become a thing. I mean, there is one for development of it, but there isn't one for, you know, So this has been acting up weirdly as well. I want to chase down this bug. It's still a thing. That happening. So I don't know why that happens, and it happens sometimes. And by sometimes, I mean on some specific run, so that it'll keep doing that now. Like, it is not possible to hit that button now. But sometimes I'll run the game, and that's fine. And I have no idea what is the determinant factor of that. Like, if I run this again now, bet anything, it'll just be fine. Actually, since I've said that, I bet it won't be. Place your spear, then die postage return. You can at the moment, yeah. I mean, I could easily make it so that the spear automatically comes back when you die if that becomes an issue. It's the kind of thing that might be an issue. See, it's done the thing again with the screen that I don't understand. And now it's okay. And I don't... Why? Why is that a thing? You can see the hitbox there. There's a massive ass hitbox on the button. I guess I say I need to run it in debug mode, but I just have this horrible feeling that running it in debug mode will just lock it into always working or always not working or whatever, and ugh. Random collision objects. It's gonna be a tough one to work out. Hello, Battlezays. Like my videos, thank you. That is exactly what it is, Fedbean. No access. Okay, so now I can't even launch. Oh wait, okay, something's gone. I don't know why this spawned. I think debug mode always goes windowed mode, and that's why it's like not done the weird borderless thing. Okay, so I'm guessing this has worked. Yeah. And now it'll just always work, right? Don't understand. Usually it's also before, if I don't press if I press F5 it works, because that's always like, I come in and it's not working, and then I reload the game, press F5 and zoom straight to it, and it's working again. So that's, I can't imagine why this would make a difference, but let's run grab the spear, get up there naturally without teleporting, and see if it's still not working. Oh, this is a regular run though, like I need to run it in debug mode. I program in Unity. I'm sure I probably could to some degree, but not as well as I could in GameMaker. Right. So here we are. Run through here. Oh, it's annoying because I'm going to do all this and I'm pretty sure this makes no difference. But a really annoying problem. Right, let's grab a diamond because we usually have a diamond by then. Racing the ghosts. And then that'll trigger it, and then that one's never an issue. Let's bring it back. Use the annoying door exploit to get through here, which is that you can throw spears through doors, so lol. Just kind of climb up here like that. And test this. Right. Oh my god, does that mean there's test sample of like 1, but it's like if I press F5 to get the spear and teleport there, then this button works, and if I don't do that, it doesn't work. No, I'm pretty sure that issue with the overlay is still a thing. Blonzek, VZ. I think I had an idea for how I was going to fix it, but now I don't remember what it is. So why? So it's not even getting here, so it's not even triggering this. Presumably it is triggering this. It must be, because all the other ones work. Ugh. Oops. Nah. It can be hard to wrangle sometimes. So So that's, I think. Oh, I can't get high enough, can I? How do I test this? I need to pause it when it goes into fly. So let's ignore the really annoying constant explosion sound for now. Go into elements. The moment it's in fly state, basically. Turn this on because it might be helpful. Right, so this should hit, right? So let's turn that off, come into here, turn that on so it'll do it every frame. Oops. Is that like behind? That looks behind. But I wasn't checking the whole way. But that there, that is definitely a collision along that line. So why? Like, what was -4, so it's finding it as no one. No poke entity. But it's demonstrably is true. No, it just tells me XY. Does it debugger Windows? Graph. Graph doesn't help. Because I don't know, that very clearly looks like a collision to me. The reason why I didn't do LD43, I kind of forgot about it, and then by the time I remembered it, I'd already made a lot of other plans that weekend, so I couldn't really do it. I like my videos, they are powerful. Oh, thank you. Not sure what that means, but cool. The goggles the flight characters wearing make me feel like there should be some airships. You kind of start the game in a plane that crash lands. I don't understand. The dots are very much both inside the yellow rectangle. Alright, let's stop the game. I want to see if, as long as I get the spear naturally, it probably shouldn't matter. Oops, I didn't mean to refresh my Twitch dashboard. Probably shouldn't matter if I teleport. Because that seems to be the key difference. Like sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's to do with whether or not I picked up the spear naturally. So picking up the spear naturally is doing this. Bonk. And then ugh, I need to enable throwing as well, so I need to come back into here, which automatically gets triggered. I don't think that's anything to do with it. Bonk. I'm gonna do that. Okay, now it works. Why? Why does it work this time? Don't tell me teleport. No way teleport has anything to do with it. It doesn't touch it or interact with it in any way. Shift restart. Oh. F5. Keep varying the position and everything. It's on specific runs it never works, and it's not like it like mixes it up like that actually just missed, so that's fine. And it's like only seems to be this. I want to get it again so it's not working, and then go try the other button. But how would that make a different type solution? Because why would it work sometimes? Right, let's just do this twice more. I just want to make as sure as I can be that it isn't just entirely random. No. No. Try the other one. But it'll work. No reason it shouldn't work. Works. Restart. And now just walk all the damn way to the sphere. No teleports. It doesn't make sense to me that the teleport would have any impact. These are the kind of bugs that are horrible. But we need to get them sorted now. I've been ignoring too much jank for too long. And the jank has piled up and gotten way too janky. I say that, but this is actually quite a new problem. There are some old problems that need looking at as well, but this is like, or as far as I can tell, it's a new problem. It's hard because something like that can sneak up on you and you don't notice it until the next time you try that particular button and find it doesn't work the way it used to. Bugs are sneaky like that. Right, so I'm feeling like this shouldn't work. Yeah. I don't get it, because it seems like the only difference was I teleported. I didn't use F5 that other time. I went and got the spear naturally. I just teleported to the area. So shift restart. Teleport, 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 teleport. Grabby. Teleport, teleport. Don't have throw, need throw. Okay, can throw. Teleport, teleport. Boing, boing, bet it works. Nope. Yeah, guaranteed. So the only difference is I teleported. How can that be a thing? How can that be a thing? We have to investigate. We have to look, I guess. It just doesn't make any sense. How do I? It's an O game thing, isn't it? Let's debug control. Is it? Where do I teleport? No flare? Oh, what are they called? Oh, debug spawn. Well, okay. Debug spawn points. It is in game. I just missed. No, okay, I just didn't see it. Warp to debug point. It moves player and it moves the camera. That's all it does. This is why I say I don't understand. I don't understand. Do you understand? I do not understand. Could be loading the object earlier than the tile. It might share an enable group with something. That's a possibility because of the things I do on the way. Let's take a look at this button. Enable group is 4. But I still don't see how anything would stop it from... No, because I never find a collision with it. It can't be anything to do with that, because it just literally thinks there's no collision there when the spear hits it. I don't think it shares a collision group with anything. An enable group even with anything. Variables, let's just check. That's number 2. Your 2. This stuff is probably 2 as well, right? Yeah. There's all 2. I need a better way of managing that as well. It's going to be a nightmare to double check those things later. This is just a permanent door, isn't it? Yeah. And the first switch door as well. There's one. I did wonder if it had something to do with this, but the thing is, it makes sense from a surface level that some of these switches or something might interfere with the ability of other switches to work or whatever. But it doesn't make sense in terms of the results I'm seeing, because I'm throwing the thing and in debug mode it's literally never it's never recognizing a collision, full stop. Like, it's checking the positions at the tip of the spear versus a type of object, which is O1 is a child of PokeyPoke entity, and it's looking for PokeyPoke entities, which it is one of, and saying, nope, nothing here. I can't imagine why. Well, I'm glad it's satisfied. I mean, I'm streaming it, right? That's, I guess in some way I expect it to be interesting. I kind of like solving them live. It's interesting, but frustrating for obvious reasons, but also interesting. Oh, also, okay, so I spawned the spear and my slashing is off. Let's just do that again. What happened there? That's still in the wrong? No, that looks right. Maybe, well, maybe I'm just seeing things, I don't know. Hang on a sec, let's just test something here. So that comes to there. Again, same. Is this different for some reason? No. Just a quick answer. Let me, first of all, do what I was going to do before, which is run through the whole level, get out the spear, make sure it still doesn't work, which it won't. It's pretty consistent now. And then see if it works on the other button as well. Because that's what I first thought the problem. I thought it was just something to do with the surface that the button was on. So I changed it from rock to dirt, thinking like, oh, it'll work on a dirt one at least, and nope. Oops. Like a detective show. It'll be something totally benign when we find it, it always is. God, I'm glad this game is fun. Like, it's just fun to move around and play, and I'm glad, because it's not doing all this otherwise. I'm gonna run through all this over and over again. At least it's just fairly satisfying to do. So yeah, that, just be absolutely sure, get that right in the middle. Yeah, that's clearly not working. So, oops. There we go. Okay. Did I test it already? I don't know. Yes, that one works. Why does that one work? Also, wow, that kind of breaks a lot if you hit it multiple times. Yeah, that's not quite the intended. Basically, that should hold in until then it comes off, rather than the way it currently works. Oh, I think it does. It just, you shouldn't be able to hit it. Yeah, hit it off again like that. So what? Oh, button. Hard. Oops. That just makes much variables. Okay, open. Enable this. Hey, Basil the Dog, thank you very much for the Twitch subscription. Trying to solve a puzzle that makes no sense. Hey Lulu. What's up? I want to see if I can solve this bug, Dear Kiri. After that, I'll do some games if I'm still streaming, depending on how long this takes. What do you want, Lulu? Oh, you want feeding, don't you? It is actually time for your food. I don't like to reward you coming in and shouting at me, but it is actually time to feed you. So I guess that's kind of fair. I'll be right back, guys. I'm gonna go feed the cat, and we'll come back and try and work out why on earth this is broken. Burba. So can I try going there so nothing happens, and then teleport to that position, and then see if it works. The thing is, going there, I will do that, because one, I can't, it doesn't make sense to me that a teleport would be involved. I think something is either manipulating the base position of the spear in some way, and like somehow maybe like the position tracking is getting out of sync or something, and it's like finding itself embedded in the wall before. I think that's unlikely. Somehow the identity of the button object is changing, so that they're no longer looking for the right object. So I've got to either be looking in the wrong position, because the collision isn't returning anything, right? The collision function is not returning anything. So I'm either looking in the wrong position, looking for the wrong object, well, that's it, really. Like, those are the only things that can be causing the problem, I think. But what's then causing the problem that's causing the problem is the question, right? So this won't work. Teleport. Around the whole damn place. No, it still doesn't work. So whatever it is, it's been set in motion. What if the button collision is inside the wall? Maybe something is wrong with the sprite. Maybe the wall sprite somehow goes over the button so it's still can't fly the button. So, how it works. Short game, I'm just going to move over here so we can't hear that sound anymore. Is the lance in its fly state checks first of all for a collision with any objects. It gets its appropriate coordinates, gets its debug coordinates if it needs them, if I've got F3 turned on. Just check what that does here. Yeah, just specifically the ones tagged with debug. Lance coordinates, fine. Tip X, which is the end of it, and the head X, which is the blade base. And we check for collision objects. Don't actually know what head start X is. Can't remember what that is. What's that? I'm not looking into that because that might be an issue. That might be relevant. I don't think so, because I just kind of set it to head X and head Y instantly if we're in the fly state, which we are. We draw like a line between the tip and the X, the tip and the base of like the head of the spear, and we check for collision between on that line with a PokeyPoke entity, which the button is. It's not a precise collision, which means it's just using the bounding box, and which is huge on the button, and it's not checking for itself, which it wouldn't anyway because it's looking for PokeyPoke entity. But yeah, and this will not trigger. This, when I do that setup, when I walk all the way through and get to there, no matter what, whenever I throw the spear at that thing, it always comes back Pokeball equals -4. And because it does that, it skips this and goes straight to Lance Collision tiles, and it'll find the tile there, find the ground tile there, and it'll bury the spear in the tile. The layer and depth of the object shouldn't really be relevant. Like, checking for a collision isn't... I'm not only checking for collisions on a given layer. And I believe, but just to be absolutely sure, this button is on the lower entities layer, which is the same layer as all the other buttons. Same layer as the doors, O button spear. Let's just find it specifically though. O button spear. Can't order by name or something, can I? Right, O button. Oh, there's only one O button though. Where's the other O button? What layer are you on? Oh no, you are on that layer. Okay, just further down, I didn't see you. I can do its position. Its position was locked in there. Removing the previous buttons I pressed along the way and trying again. If it was something to do with that, then that would mean in here somewhere. What do we do when we hit a button? Wow, that would totally break if that was in fly, which it would be. And I don't think there is a poke type hook at the moment, but oh yeah, only the hook bug, which would mean like if you threw it at the hook bug, you would become hooked to it. That's kind of weird. Oh no, because I check if you're in the free state, and if you're not, we just don't do anything. Okay. Slot is the other ones where the thing sits in the slots. So when we do it into one of them, state becomes buried. Direction, Pokeball direction, X, Y. Horizontal force prevents slip jump. Sprite index becomes S11 tip. It's fine because it all gets changed back. And the fly state itself assigns the sprite as well. As long as I'm not changing the mask. Let me just do a search for place for mask index. Nothing that affects the sphere. Okay. Nothing to do with that. Enables that entity. Enables that entity. I mean, I will try that to see if the other things are involved in some way. I'm just like, all I was doing there was seeing if they were involved in some way, what could it be? I'm not sure, frankly. But let's try it. Why not? Let's just move you over here. Let's just move you out here. You just entirely out of the way. So we can just run over you. Same for you. Just move you down. And we'll try that, right? Don't know if it's something to do with that thing when you first start. Don't think so. Because you got to remember that whatever the cause of the problem is, it has to only be the cause of the problem when I run through like this. Because if I just give myself the spear, or even if I run and get the spear and then... Wait, if I run and get the spear... Oh no, I run to the teleport to it, it doesn't work. If I run and get... I feel like there's some more things I need to break down about when this happens. So let's run and get this. Avoid the diamond for now. Do everything avoiding diamonds. Let's not involve them, because then things get even more complicated. Oops. Alright, so we have to do that to get rid of the prompt. Do that, we throw it somewhere. We didn't hit any. Oh wait, do we have to... Shrug, got rid of it there. No, we had to bury it in something, right? Shooting off the screen didn't count. Oh, that's actually repositioned in the list. Oh yeah, because I used to have it a bit further out of the wall because it looked better. But it's not made any difference anyway, so it's nothing to do with the position of the button either. And that hitbox is nice and big. And yet the other one works. Regardless of this nonsense. He has a hitbox on him too. That's interesting. I'm not really sure why that happened. Oh yeah, because everything with a hitbox draws, yeah. Works. Clean. Every time. Doesn't matter where I'm stood. Every pixel works. Right. So nothing to do with any switches being turned on. Restart. Now, I seem to remember if I grabbed it and teleported, or no, if I teleported to the spear and grabbed it, and then teleported back up here, did the throw tutorial, then it worked, which is weird. So let's just walk down here first of all. Teleport. Teleport to here, sure. Just remove the tile to see if it activates the lamp type. No, I don't think that's anything to do with it. Okay. Done one, well, 2 teleports. Swear to God, if it fucking works now. No, it doesn't. Okay. Oh, I'm teleporting past it before. I can't imagine. Might be something to do with, like, it's been deactivated but it's still drawing itself or something. It's not properly getting reactivated. You're not working. That's interesting. How did I get it to work before? Like, it was working if I just teleported. Then, I mean, I'm up here but I can't throw it. So I teleported back to, like, here. Unlocked spear throw. And then it worked. Why? I don't understand. So that's that. So now let's run back through this area. The only other thing I can think is just like going through this path for some reason on foot. I'm not going to touch any of the switches because it doesn't seem like they make a difference and I don't want to confuse myself. Something with the ghosts? I don't know. Having triggered that ghost is a problem? All the actual little triggers and things we've got going around here doing something. No, it's not doing that. So this is like that full journey I would normally walk. So remember, last time we were up there, it was working. We will get to the bottom of this. No, it's still working. Why? Why? The hitbox of the spear? Kind of. I mean, it doesn't really have a hitbox as such. It has, like, hit points and it draws a line. You can see the hitbox of the button and the line there. And you see that's hitting it, it's finding it along that line. Teleport. I'm thinking it's something, I don't know, to do with maybe the teleport rebalancing the position of the spear. Because what is that now? Point straight up. It is dead in line with that. Pointing it straight up to work out its position, and it's like, okay, so it's got that 1 pixel in the corner there, and it's like dead in line with the bottom of the hair. Okay. And that's it working. And again, just to be sure, the teleport, got this, works clean, right? An eye tracker. It would just be everywhere, man. Am I disabling objects? Yes, but if it was disabled, you won't be able to see it, if I'm correct. Right, so we gotta walk. Friggin' walk. Right, first of all, let's just check. Just check it on both sides actually, so it's correct there. And there, putting it straight up is still that same height. But like 1 pixel further across. That's interesting. It's like it's a little bit closer than in facing the other way. I don't think, I mean, I'll compare that afterwards, but I don't think it's a... Oh, well, I think this will still not work either way, right? Based on the pattern. Oops. Yeah, so it doesn't work. Same nonsense. Teleport. Teleport doesn't seem to do anything to it. Which is what I thought it might do, but it's not. It's not normally Duts 1337, I just have no idea what's going on. All the sensible... I don't know, there's nothing sensible about this. Alright, first of all though, I'm dying to know what this is about. So when it's free, we get that. What's the difference? It's where it was at the start of the frame kind of thing. But if it's flying, we just use wherever it currently is. Because we don't have that variable otherwise, I guess, is why. So that's strange, but we'll take it. Starting all over again. Your guess is correct, Federine. Yeah, so it can't be deactivated, otherwise it wouldn't even show the hitbox when I press debug. Let's get back to the scenario where it doesn't work, which is a pain because it's like I seem to have to walk through it all to get that to happen. If I just teleport to the spear and walk all the way up from there, I don't think that works. Oh no, I want to do this in debug mode. Alright, no. F6. Because it might just be teleporting to a certain area or whatever, like, fixes it, which is just dumb. I've got this weird feeling now, because of all the teleporting I did just, I don't know, I kind of went like back over one, that it might work. Not for any logical reason other than the pattern, oh yeah, the script. I don't think I've tried it this way then because of that, not running into that. I kind of hope this doesn't work, but... Okay, so this one doesn't work. So I can teleport all over the place, get the spear, and then just walk up through that route. It won't work. But I tried even like teleporting through here and then walking back through that route and coming back up. What? So, and notably that breakpoint isn't even triggering, so no collision. Instances. What instances have we got in the world? So we've got all the camera zones. Order by name here. So we've got 2 O buttons, which we should have. They are there, they are present. Let's find the correct one, whichever one's got the lowest X. 3232. 4675. So this one's the problem one. Sprite width is -10. Is it to do with it being flipped rather than rotate? I don't know, because that wouldn't make it inconsistently bust. Wouldn't make it consistently bust. There were different numbers everywhere. The only thing I can think is that the coordinates are different. For some reason, like the spear is fundamentally different in some way, like it's not checking the correct coordinates. Step. That's where it's always going to be, it's not going to vary. Step in. Y was equal Y. X was equal X. Skip tiles equal false. Not sure what that's for. Oh. Oh, right, whether or not to, okay. Not sure why that would ever. Well, yeah, that would literally never be true at this point unless something in there turned it back on, so that's weird. No, I think the idea is if that does return an object, then we turn skip tiles on, if that's right. Not sure. Yeah. Interestingly, I don't do it here. Probably should. It's not causing any problems yet, but probably should. Anyways. Yep, get those things. Let's just check the lance, because that is a thing. We've changed the corners, obviously 20 and 4. And 4. Glow. Where on earth is the thing for that? Oh, right, yeah, right there. That's what I thought it was, I just didn't see the cross. And 4, interestingly. Not sure if that's been adjusted correctly. I don't think it matters for this, but I need to look at that later. Head start. Okay. Where's my debugger? Right. Step in. We're just going like itty bitty bit at a time now. That's debug coordinates. That's fine. Step over. Collision objects, which won't be any. Won't be any. If it's out of the camera, which no, it won't be. Not relevant anyway. Checks to see if you kebab anything. What is this the step of? Oh, the button. Oh, the button spear though, right? Another one. Button staff event. it's not, which is, yeah, which is not. What's going on here? Took a long time, he was going through all the different buttons. Canon, game, end step. Whoa, why is this doing more than one? Almost implied there were multiple lances then. No, no lance, there's just one. Only one button looks, yeah, the other one's been, it's not in range. Just the one lance. Can't imagine anything, man. Just can't picture what it would be. Get it going. If I hold F3, impressive. No. Okay, and then. So there it is, and it's just going to go through it, and I don't really know why. Collision objects. Put that there and that there. Rid of you. Like 14 pixels along, sounds right. -4. And 3224, 3238. Let's look at the button now. Its bounding box is 3207 to 3236. So that X on its own is within that bounding box. The box top is 2758, 2778, 2772, 2773. All of those numbers are cleanly within the bounding box of that button. I'm looking for poke entity. No, we can check like its parent index or whatever, and this is the object index 39. I'll just check these ones. Should have like a matching one each, right? Object index 38. This one will be 38 too. No, that one's 39 because, yeah. I am at a loss. Absolute loss. -4. So that's like, nope, no collision here. But there very evidently is. Very evidently is. Throw into order. If it did, and like if that was anything to do with the problem that's 1, 3 through 7, it wouldn't be inconsistent based on where I had walked previously, you know? I'm still not really sure what the root trigger of it is. It's just like when I walk all the way to the spear, when I get the spear and walk up from the spear to the thing, it works. It doesn't work, rather. Whereas if I teleport to the spear, teleport from the spear up to where the button gets. Test a couple more approaches to see if I can narrow this down anymore, because it's just, I need more info. Badly need more info. So let's ignore those breakpoints for now, because we're just not getting any info out of them. No, let's not do it like that. Let's teleport to the spear, because we confirmed it. We can still trigger it to not work even after this. Oop. No, you can teleport like that. I'm going to teleport back to here. Run the full thing and see if it works. And then maybe try it again immediately afterwards, because that was a bit weird with me teleporting in the cutscene. Let's get rid of that. Which I don't think has anything to do with it. It's hard to rule anything out, but it's like a lot of stuff just doesn't make sense for it to impact it. So there it's working. I want to see if I can do something, just any one specific thing I can do now that will stop it working. Because it just seems like one, I don't know. I'm back in here. And I trigger this. That's the thing. So I trigger that and then just teleport back up. Still works. We've moved all those buttons out of the way. We've ruled them out as mattering. I can't tell if it's something we do that makes it not work or something we do that makes it work. Like, does teleporting make it work? Does something to do with walking down this route make it not work? If once it's working, is it always going to be working? I don't understand. I have not yet fixed it, no. weirdo bug has pretty much dominated the stream, but ah well. It can just be a stream about a stupid bug now. Still works. So that was me just walking all the way back to there, walking all the way back up. I mean, obviously not Super Game Games, but the thing is it doesn't work all the time, and I have no idea what causes it to work or not work. And playing the game normally, without any teleports or anything, causes it to not work. So, yeah, it's kind of a... See, the fact that I can't now seem to do any of these things and make it not work implies that something is making it work rather than something is making it not work. But I don't know what. So the next thing to try then would be to get to a situation where it doesn't work and see if we can do something to make it work. Oh wait, that's what we would... Isn't that what we were just doing? I'm losing my mind. Yeah, wasn't it not working? Hang on, right. Restart. Maybe we're onto something. Maybe we're onto something. Teleport, 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 teleport. Grabby. Teleport, 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 teleport. Ugh, still can't fucking throw it, can I? Walk from here. No, grabbing a diamond does literally nothing to do with it. Because we've confirmed that by having it work and not work regardless of throwing a diamond. Okay. So this was teleport to the spear, teleport back to the start, and now it works. Okay, so I want to get it to a situation where it's not working. So let's just do the whole thing, because we know it doesn't work when we do everything. So start the game. I still feel like... Because teleporting and skipping stuff seems to improve the chances of it working, it implies that something we're doing or triggering stops it working, and that would imply that it always doesn't work. I just want to be able to clearly change it from one to the other. Doesn't work, which we know. We know if we do all of those things in that order, it doesn't work. The problem I'm having is narrowing down, so like being able to take away, I want to take away bits of what I'm doing in order to nullify the one thing that makes it work or not work. Probably not, Xerox. Like, this has already taken like all of my working day. So it doesn't work. When you teleport all around the map, I don't know. Gone through every teleport thing. That triggered the... Why did that trigger? I'd already done that. Hang on. Okay, still not working. But how come that came up? Just out of nowhere. Oh Christ knows, I'm going to assume that's unrelated for now, because that just freaks my head even more. Basically, you can throw it at the wall, teleport somewhere, and it'll fly up to you. I don't think teleporting has anything to do with it, but I think teleport is skipping me over something that does have something to do with it. Okay, so what can we remove from that chain of events that makes it not work? Let's teleport to the sphere. Does just climbing up from, I honestly can't even remember, it's too hard to track in my head. Does climbing up from just the spear, so skip it, what does this skip? This skips very little of any significance really, so this shouldn't work. Still do that. And if this does work, it means there's like something in that early corridor, which fucking who knows. Doesn't work. Okay. It's what I expected. Run real quick. It might be just, it could be a million of those things, I'm just trying to narrow it down. So, yeah, what am I doing? Restart. I don't know if me restarting has anything to do with it either, or whether like a fresh run changes it, you know? So, what else can we cut out? Let's teleport to the spear. This should work. Oh no, yeah. I haven't triggered being able to throw the spear. So that might be an interesting one to try. Let's just do that. Just do that. Does that work? Yes. Okay, so that rules out the tutorial having anything to do with it, I think. Now, what I want to do is see if I come back to here, run through this, does it still work? I'm going to leave out something important. So let's run through here. I'm not going to trigger the thing I know triggers when you stand on this. I'm going to run through here, climb up, to here. Still works. Okay. Teleport back. Teleporting to here, is it? I'm gonna let this ghost run out. Let it fully run out. I'm gonna teleport back. Still works. And teleport back to the start of the game. Run through here. Trigger that. Here, trigger that ghost as well. Can't imagine why, but I'm going to come all the way back here to do this whole thing. And it still works now, I'm so clueless. Like, I have no idea where to even start. Like, it's a total contradiction. It's like, once it works forever, and once it doesn't work forever. But one must cause... Still work. Why does it still work? I did everything. I've done everything involved in setting it up to not work, and yet it's still... The only thing I did different was doing it in different order. What I'm trying to fix, Eric, is if I play through the game normally, get the spear, come up here, I can't press this button. If I teleport to the spear, or if I just do things slightly out of order, then I can press the button. In a sequence of events that makes no sense. Quit the whole game. Restart. So yeah, I'm going to close the whole thing and restart each time. No, the diamonds have nothing to do with it. They don't affect it either way. Might be a certain amount of time. I don't know. Teleport to the button. The spear even. Now if I teleport straight up to the button... Oh well, I can't throw. Hang on, what's the thing that stops the lance throwing? I want a way to just trigger that. What is it? No, it has nothing to do with it. I know it doesn't. It's infuriating that I still have to try it because it just there's I'm out of options. I have to try everything. Tutorial throw. Right, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to set that to true from the start. So let's... Why are you a thing? Go away. Why is that there instead of my resources? Up here. There we go. Why has it gone big again? I got to there. Right. Game. Ugh. Oh my god, this UI is killing me right now. True. It's an important task. I'm surprised I didn't do this sooner. But sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't, Lupoi. This is the thing, I don't... It doesn't seem related. Teleport to the sphere. Grab the sphere. You can now immediately throw. Tutorial doesn't seem to have any impact on it anyway, so I may as well just skip that out. Make things easy to test. Come up here. Should work, I think. Yeah. It's consistent. Restart. Just going to do the same thing again. Just make sure I don't know if random restart's going to do anything. Yep. Restart. Teleport to the sphere. Grab the sphere. Walk up manually. And I think I tried this and this does not work. But it doesn't really matter. We've already tried it without the buttons. I already tried it without the buttons, so that doesn't matter. Doesn't work. So our first teleport is irrelevant, because it doesn't matter whether we walk there or we teleport to it. Coming back up through it all means it won't work. Restart. Teleport to the sphere. Teleport. Yeah, sure, from here, why not? Works. Yep. Sphere. There's something in the walk. It is something specifically, or just not teleporting between getting it. If there's anything else I can do. Nah. Oh, I always forget about that. Tutorial's irrelevant. Literally not doing anything now. Doesn't work. Just to confirm again, teleporting here, just pressing F5 to get the sphere. Works. Yeah, there's going to be some stuff with racing the ghosts and things as well. sure what else there is to try. Because I've tried, like, and after it like works, once you get here, like, this will work. I can go through that entire process now and walk all the way there and back, and I think it'll still work, which implies, what does that mean? That means that the only other thing is the teleport itself, right? But I think it's possible, but we're... Is there any teleport after getting the spear? Maybe that's something? Why is that? Oh yeah, because I've never actually got that. So I think this will still work, which is crazy. Still works. So that means it's got to be something. Yeah, I can't see any other possibility. It's got to be the first teleporting once after getting the spear makes it work. But that would imply once it doesn't work, all I have to do is teleport somewhere and teleport back, and then it'll work, which doesn't happen. So let's set up a not work again. God, it takes so long just to set this up. See you, the killer hero. Looked like I was having a little race with that ghost then. Ooh. Should not work. Doesn't work. Doesn't work, so it's not teleporting once after getting the spear. But it's also not any of the things that trigger along that walk. I don't think the ghosts even deactivate. Do the ghosts deactivate? Something to do with walking out of... They are a P entity, so I think they do deactivate if you get too far away from them before they finish, but I can sit and watch them and let them finish, and it still doesn't change anything. I just don't know what they... anything to do with what the problem is. That's a good idea. Let's list these things. Yeah, so I've got straight to button F5 works. Teleport to sphere, walk to button doesn't work. Teleport to sphere, walk to button, teleport around map doesn't work. Teleport to sphere, teleport to button works. Teleport to, and this is the kicker, teleport to sphere, teleport to button, walk back through whole map. This doesn't work. It's just that one button. So something, because the other button works. So, like always. As far as I can bloody tell. What is it? Oh, this button here. Here even. And just walking through this nonsense from the right hand side, seemingly. Fall trigger just does, yeah, just the scripted fall. And the thing is, I don't understand. Like, even if I were to isolate it as being like, okay, it's throwing the thing in the button that does it, I'd be like, why? And it doesn't make any sense that that would do that, even if that's where the cause is isolated. Yeah, Volpanic. Let's think simpler. Get you. Back to the collision event. Collision line. The manual will almost certainly be useless here, but come on, browser. There we go. Fine. You've already said that. Anyone uses. That's fine. It's returning no one. No, we don't super gamer games. There's no way to work it out. I'm going to teleport to the sphere and walk a little bit towards the button. Things like I need to rewrite how teleport even works. Which sort it will do. I'm going to come in here, I'm going to get rid of all the spawns. What layer are they on? They're on player layer. I'm going to kill every teleport spot in the game apart from one. Or actually like two. I'm going to put you here, you there. Can't really play anyone's game right now. I was planning to, but this bug's just taken my whole evening, I'm afraid. We might do some of that next week. Okay, I don't like the order that's gone in, but works, I'm guessing. Yep. I'm going to swap those around though. Delete. Oh, actually, leave you there. No. Delete. Yeah, which I've done on like, I've checked all the shapes and bounding boxes and everything are all correct as far as I can tell. That's what is making this so confusing. It's not... That ghost is already active. Let that ghost fade out. That can be our first test. Works. See, I get the feeling literally every point we teleport from is just going to break. No, I'm probably not going to Xerox, not today. I was planning to, but I just didn't think this... I didn't think I'd get so absorbed in this. And I just really want to fix this because while I've got some of how it works in my head, it would just seem nuts to not just commit to getting it sorted, you know? Or at least understanding it. Even if I don't fix it, I want to understand it by the end of today. Did that do the... I think that did the scripted 4. Okay, there's the scripted 4. Works fine. think that matters. Oh goddamn right, it shouldn't matter. I'm going to do a big chunk in this one, right to the top of here. In fact, I'm going to walk out of here. I'm suspicious of something here. Interesting. Interesting. This is still here, but the thing it triggers is gone. I'm wondering if this is something to do with it, in which case... No. Because otherwise, why wouldn't it break when I went back through it? Let me try that. Applying it's like a combination of things. No, they're not area Cassidy, as far as I can remember. You know what I want to try actually? Top out here. Because I want it to go from one to the other after seeing it. It's like Schrodinger's button. It's ridiculous, right? So back here. Now if I do all of this, if we are to believe that something that I'm triggering or something in this walk is responsible, then after doing this, it should absolutely not work. I was able to teleport from there last time. I'm not gonna. So once it works, it works forever. There's no way to get it back into that state. Absolutely maddening. We tried it with and without the diamond. This is the maddest hunt for a bug I think I've ever done. I've had some pretty mad stuff that's taken a long time to work out. This is next level just because there's no clues. It's insane. You are all witnessing my most difficult bug literally ever. The idea is we want to do less, right? Let's go to just here. No worky. So now we keep going back, right? You keep going back, go less distance. Less distance. It still doesn't work even before I went outside, so. It's really hard to think that this is position specific. Even if we're just like, okay, so when I stand in exactly this spot, it happens, I'm like, still no closer to understanding why. Let's just go from here, first of all. Works, right, so between there. Literally just climbing up from the bottom specifically in that section. Something happens? This is absolutely mental. It happens, Eric Cassidy, and I mean, like, it's easy to look at this and think, well, I'm just, like, super frustrated and stuck, and, I mean, that's true, but this is just, it's game development, man. These things happen, and it's really hard. Right, do that. So so as far as we know, it's still working at this point. Still working at this point. Is it working now? No. Let's confirm that. It's closing a little closing a little more. This is not at all where, oh Christ. That should be okay. Not at all where I was expecting this to close in on at all. Because nothing happens, that's the thing, there's no triggers, anything. Unless it is somehow something to do with the camera, which... See that. So as far as I know, does it work from here? No. Okay. Let's check again, because I'm confident about my restarting process. Yeah. Because the default character I came up with was just a pink blob with this stupid happy face on it, and when I got my artist to come help make an actual character, I was like, hey, can we keep this face? It's just looked really dumb and I love it, and so we did. But I think it's subconsciously kind of inspired by, like, I want to be the guy and some other things like that. So is it just that camera transition? That's insane, because even though we've narrowed this down to kind of a position where it seems to happen, I have no idea what that means. It still told me nothing about how to fix this bug, or about what's even really causing it, you know, like internally. And it didn't work the last time I just jumped on that platform. That's insane. If I play the game through normally, this button just doesn't work. Like there's no collision. It finds no collision with the spear. It literally just seems to like it's not got a collision mask or something, but it does, because if we turn debug mode on to draw its collision mask, it clearly has one. It's just not finding a collision, which implies that the spear coordinates are off, but I've checked them in debug mode and they're in the right position. Oh, I should have thrown that first, but I feel like that's not going to work. No, that worked, okay. Why? See, now that's nuts, because I got up to there before and it didn't work. But it's not that right, it can't be super random, Jmos, because it always happens if I just walk the whole way. If I just walk the whole way, I guarantee it doesn't work. Wait, I'm not gonna, because I'm still trying to narrow this down, but I swear we've got to there before and it didn't work. And the thing is, like, this isn't the final level design or anything, so if it's something map specific, it's not even something I have to fix. If it's something that just never comes up in the actual game, it just doesn't matter. So, what that says to me, all this says, is that this is an object that will activate and deactivate, right? Based on distance. Let's find where that happens again. That's, I think it's in the camera. We have it in, let's just find it. Instance enable. Instance disable? Is it? What's the name of the function? Deactivate, sorry. Instance just activate. Tab line. Also, if I press F8, we just activate all. The Poke entity is one of them, right? Let's check my parenting. Entity is a child of entity, yep. It turns all them off. And we activate things within a given region of the player. So implies that any number of things around here could be being activated, which just permanently shuts down this object. Let's turn off tiles and triggers. So any sneaky hidden things? I know what that button is. But it is, the thing is, it is activated because you can see it. It has a hitbox, and and it's just this one button as well. This one works just all the time. If I delete this and just place another button here, I bet it just solves the whole problem. I partly don't want to do that, because when it does, I'm just like, well then why on earth did it happen before? Clean the project. Probably just a goddamn runtime bug, you know, after all this. I'm going to clean the project. I'm going to go into lower entities. Double click on this, check the variables again. The only one I changed was, like, it's enable group 4, enable time and 90, minus 1 and 1. Let's just compare that quickly to this, minus 1 and 1, 10 and 180, yeah. So it's done the same way, there's no rotation, it is just flipped X. Flipped X. Turn dirt tiles back on. I'm going to delete you. Good riddance. I'm going to place... No, I'm going to press Ctrl Z because I forgot what your numbers were. 4 and 90. Delete. Shouldn't be in slots, but whatever. X. Maybe back to where you're kind of supposed to be. Which is like at least a few pixels out. Yeah. That never made a difference, by the way. Kill this dirt. Putting the room back to how, because I've changed all these things in trying to fix the bug, so it doesn't matter that I'm changing a bunch of stuff now. For 90. I don't reckon there's a bug with the code. The collision just wasn't being found. And I reckon something was screwed up in the runtime. That's my best guess right now. And like when it was getting activated and deactivated, something wasn't activating properly. It's going to take forever to rebuild because it's got to actually compile everything because I cleaned it all out. What's going on there? Breaking the shader? What's this nonsense? Why does it sometimes do this? Why? I feel like I do need to just do some elements of this code base from scratch because it's just not stable properly at the moment. I think I've got to just restart that. Run. All paths were broken. I'm most confident about this working than any other anything. Because just I can't find anything in the way I've constructed this to work that should stop it working. Doesn't mean it doesn't exist, and I always tend to, you know, assume the problem is on my end first, which maybe I shouldn't, I don't know. Right, let's not, even though we know it normally doesn't work from there, let's just walk the whole way where we know it always doesn't work. Meh. Who was it who was saying I could do this blindfolded now? Oh. No, actually hasn't fixed it. That's incredible. What the hell? And wait for it, wait for it. That one works. It's literally the same object. Literally the same object. Oh. Oh. But now it's not. What's going on here? That's interesting. That's the difference between stabbing and throwing. That's a whole different. Oh no. So this one is a more understandable kind of bug, look, because it's about whether angle and position. But the other one was not. The other one was very clearly like it would do it from this. It's back to here. Can't make it work from anywhere. What I'm going to try and do, which I'm going to copy it. But I think these are two separate issues, I really do, because we could reliably make it work. We could reliably make it work by doing this. Teleport to it. Guarantee work. Absolutely guarantee it. Every single time. Every single... Well, that didn't hit it, but... Every shot that's on target. Let's go up to the other place and see if we can get that thing's bug to replicate in these conditions where it should just consistently work. Or where the other one consistently works. That's interesting. So this is just always working now, look. Does that mean something about the hit mask is changing? Something about the spear's hitbox is changing? Pretty much, Federbean. We had an issue in Ditto where the deactivation was messing with collision events if more than 250 instances were destroyed in a single frame. Try running with no deactivation to check. Okay. Let me see what happens if I press F5 and press F8, which should just activate everything and leave everything activated all the time. Okay, that's not affected this in any way. Okay, let's just straight up turn that off though. I don't know if that'll break anything else actually, but let's find out. Everything is just activated all the goddamn time. Everything. I think. Okay, so it works, still works on the whole teleportation. Now let's walk through as we did before. Yeah. Whatever. Nah. Play my own game. Any change? Huh. Okay, so that's changed because now that works after doing that full run through. That makes me think it's very, well, certain, I guess, really, that this has something to do with it. So what? Do you know anything more about, if you're still there, Juju, I don't know, you know anything more about that in detail? Like, what is the issue? You said you had an issue in where deactivation was messing with objects with collision events. That wasn't a collision event, but it was literally the collision underscore line function. But maybe you mean the same thing. If more than 250 instances were destroyed in a single frame. And that seems to be what's going on, but how come it only manifests itself in that one specific instance? Collision function or collision event. So I don't understand the problem, but it seems we've actually found the source. And it explains why it was like, it was almost semi-random, this just weird position vaguely getting close to it that seemed to be triggering the problem on and off, is because that was just the radius from which I was deactivating. The other button became boogie at one point, being consistently boogie true. So basically, after all this, what you're saying is it's all Yo-Yo's fault, right? To do with what's in the... There's an EA build to fix it. Might be to do with... Is that an EA build that's newer than this, though? Like... Like, Ditto was a while ago, like, but I mean, I don't know if that's... I don't know when you had this bug. Why would layer order have an end to it? But now I've got to find something to replace instance deactivate. Like, what? I don't really have a workaround for that. Just before Christmas. And you got a build that just straight up fixed it, so presumably it is a bug and it's gonna go away. So on some level I can just ignore it. But well, that was a good 4 hours of nothing, but I guess a lot of you saw a lot of the game, so... We're assuming that the specific bug is what's causing... Yeah. Potentially, I don't really know how to dig any deeper into it, you know? I don't... Where do I go from here? That's the question. Do I just leave it, just hope this will get fixed at some arbitrary point in the future? Do I... like... I don't know. I might just have to send a build into Yo-Yo and be like, here's this Bizarro repros. I don't know. Alternate Pogo for a new guild. Yeah. Well, to be fair, what I could do is do that, and if I can try it in EA, and it is fixed, then I can just come back to developing in this, really, can't I, and not worry about it because I know it's going away. Yeah, that's all right. So, after 3 hours and 15 minutes, wasn't all spent on this. It was more like, I don't know, 2.5 or 2.25 hours looking into this ridiculous bug. I hope you all enjoyed this journey. Insane. I'm not a GM2 expert, but Devon says Juju is on track because it behaves like a garbage collection type memory issue, and since it's a black box, you can't really debug it. Maybe. That might be worth doing, Juju. In which case I might throw you it later next week if I and you have time. But for now, I'm just gonna walk away and get something to eat because it's 7 o'clock, and man has not eaten his nom noms yet. So man's gonna go eat his nom noms. Either way, as I was saying, I hope for the rest of you this bizarre struggle and weird puzzle. A lot of you, playing along in the chat as well. It's been fun. Hope you enjoyed whatever the hell this was. I'm going to be streaming again. I've committed to streaming again next Friday. I don't know if every Friday will become a regular thing or not, but I want to find some pattern of regular nonsense for streaming rather than streaming, like, I don't know, 7 or 8 times in a month and then not streaming at all for the rest of the year. I want to do something with some kind of regularity to it. But while I'm working that out, next Friday I'll definitely be streaming again. And then hopefully, because I said I was going to do it this time in the description and title and all that, and I didn't because I just ended up being completely obsessed with this bug. But next week we will do other people's games. I think that sounds fun. We'll do other people's games. Next week we'll also be releasing a new video. Next week we'll also be releasing a new video. Yeah, that's definitely going to happen. Which is going to be part 2 of the isometric thing. So we'll be releasing that on Friday. Yeah, it is. AEFG is ISO part 2. And after I release that, I'll stream from that point onward. So we'll put that out and people can watch it, and then there's people around on the channel and people will come and watch the stream. And we'll play people's games for a bit. I'll try not to do it, because if I do any work on this, I'll just get obsessed with some stupid bug. My plan was I'll do a little work on this, and then we'll just, as more people show up, we'll do other people's games, but it didn't work out that way. So yeah, that's me. Thanks for watching, everybody. Next Friday